Possible moves in January transfer window. Mark Gahey, Harvey Elliott, Brennan Johnson, and Joshua Zirkzee. The January transfer window is officially open, and it's time to find out which speculated transfers will materialize into done deals. There has been a lot of focus on Antoine Semenyo as the Bournemouth forward nears a move to Manchester City, but there could be plenty of other completed moves. This can be a tough time to do business, but for some Premier League managers who they bring in over the next few weeks could be crucial for their season. Several high-profile players have been linked with moves between top-flight clubs and we've gathered some of the most talked-about potential transfers that could happen in the next few weeks. Mark Gahey is linked with the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan. The future of Crystal Palace defender Mark Gahey was one of the main talking points of the summer window, as he was heavily linked with a move to Liverpool. That didn't happen in the end, and Gahey got his head down to continue to be a key player for Palace in the first half of this season. However, with his contract up in the summer, Palace have a decision to make on whether to cash in now or keep for the remainder of the season and accept he will leave on a free transfer. BBC Sports senior football correspondent Sami Mokbel: "My understanding is that he is probably expected to stay at Crystal Palace until the end of the season, when his contract expires in the summer, when he will have a pick of clubs. He has so many options in the summer clubs in Europe, such as Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan. All of these clubs have registered varying degrees of interest in recent weeks. Then you will have Liverpool and Manchester City in the mix." Brennan Johnson looks on while playing for Tottenham, also linked with Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Aston Villa. Brennan Johnson etched his name in Tottenham folklore by scoring the winner in their Europa League final over Manchester United in Bilbao in May, ending the club's 17-year wait for a trophy. The departure of Ange Postecoglou and arrival of Thomas Frank as manager has meant Johnson has played a more peripheral role this season. He has made only 6 Premier League starts under Frank and has not scored a league goal since the opening 2 games of the season. Sami Mokbel: BBC Sport revealed in December that Tottenham were open to selling the attacker, who was their top scorer last season. Crystal Palace have agreed a fee of £35 million, but the player is still to decide whether he wants to move across London. Bournemouth and Aston Villa are also interested. Johnson to decide future after Palace deal agreed. Joshua Zirkzee scored for Manchester United in their 1-1 draw with Wolves in their final game of 2025. But it seems his long-term future lies elsewhere. He is linked with Roma. The Dutch forward moved to Old Trafford in the summer of 2024, but hasn't had the impact he would have liked. Simon Stone: Zirkzee is keen to make a fresh start. Roma are said to be keen on taking the former Bologna man back to Serie A, and while there has been no club-to-club conversations, and United are adamant they won't sell players without them being replaced, I expect something to happen around this. Sami Mokbel: The Manchester United striker is a target for Roma, but so far no final decision has been about whether the Netherlands international can leave before the end of the season. The forward is keeping an open mind towards his future. Joe Willock has made over 100 Premier League appearances for Newcastle since joining the club in 2021, but his game time has been limited this season with just a handful of starts. With Newcastle said to be interested in AZ Alkmaar midfielder Kees Smit, they may look to sell Willock if there is the chance to bring in Smit in January. BBC Sport Newcastle United reporter Kieran Kelly: Joe Willock's situation is one to keep an eye on. The midfielder has only made 5 starts in all competitions this season, and Newcastle are tracking a number of options on the continent in his position, including AZ Alkmaar star Kees Smit. Head coach Eddie Howe loathes to lose long-serving players in January, but this could yet be one to watch if Newcastle sense an opportunity to sign a summer target a few months early. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe so that I'm motivated to do more of this content.